Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Wednesday, guys. Happy Wednesday. We're back. As promised, we're back. Y'all saw the thumbnail, y'all saw the title. Tonight, our conversation is going to be about the many lies of Annette and Shannon. They knew, y'all. They knew. Not only did they know, but they lied. Through all of it, they lied. So we're going to take a moment, welcome you all in here. You've not yet hit the like button, please hit the like button for your girl. Double tap the emojis to the right. And we're going to get this thing going. Make sure you speak to your neighbors because here at Mocha and the Nola Bells is a house of love where everybody's somebody. Everybody's somebody. No big eyes, no little U's. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out for a moment, give some more people a little chance to get up in here, and we're going to get this stream started.
Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells. Hit that like button, you might break the scale. If you can't join the membership, still ride for free, $99. Yeah, we lit in here. Comments popping, energy rocking, we all shine. We have stay. We have stay. Turn it up, we in the South with style and grace. Mocha got 'em talking, can't nobody take a place. Nah, from the bayou to the block, we drop truth, not tea. You ain't gotta pay the vibe, hit that like for free. Every panel on fire, every topic gon' trend. If you ain't a member yet, you still a friend, amen. Got love for the real, was no time for the mess. We keep it authentic, that's Nola Bells at its best. Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells, where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells, where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. It's Mocha and the crew, we the talk of the streets. Bring the real back to YouTube, no scripts, no beats. We laugh, we drag, we educate too. All the bells in the chat know how we do. So tap in, lean back, sip your drink real slow. Let the haters keep watching, we steal the show. From Mocha to Nola, we hold it down steady. Platinum plus approved, that girl stay ready. Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells. Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells. Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells, where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells, where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. From the panel to the people, it's pure real talk. She ain't following a trend, she lead her own walk. No cameras, my mic check with no lights on blast. But every episode hit like first class. We ain't gossiping, we testifying, keep it bold. Every story got a lesson that need to be told. So hit that bell, join the ride in style. Welcome to Mocha, stick around for a while. Welcome to Mocha, Nola Bells, where the bells ring truth and the chat stay lit. Like, comment, subscribe, don't quit. If you can't join the membership, free $99. Still with it. Still with it. We outside. We outside.
All right, guys. All right. We are back. Happy Wednesday, guys. Welcome to each and every one of you that has joined the live stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here and we are discussing the many lies of Annette and Shannon. The many lies of Annette and Shannon. They knew. And child, they lied. They lied. But before we get too deep into our commentary, let me just go ahead on and read that disclaimer. Get that out of the way. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. This content is provided for fair use purposes, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, or personal. That's it and that's all. We got that out of the way. We got that out of the way. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are. Another day. And we're recapping. We're recapping things that have been said, things that we've seen. That's it and that's all. That's it and that is all, baby. That's what we're here for. Leisure Lady, thank you for supporting the channel, my love. Truly, truly appreciate that. Truly appreciate it. Cynthia Harmon, thank you so very much, my love. Thank you for supporting the channel. Guys, make sure you've hit that like button. Double tap those emojis for you, girl. We're going to get into this commentary. Because one thing we know, Mocha's up here. Peaches, thank you so much for supporting the channel, my love. One thing we know, right? Mocha's here. And Mocha sits up here and she gives the commentary. But it's not just about Mocha. It's about each and every one of you as well, because you all have followed this story from day one. Those of you that are sitting in the bushes, you sit through a live stream 2 hours. Hitting the like button would be nice. You know, would be nice. You take less effort and choose not to hit the like button. But you take every effort, all your energy, your time to report my channel every time I discuss this family. And I wonder why. I wonder why. So don't ever sit in those bushes and think that I'm not aware of your tactics. Really? But nonetheless, we're going to do what we do, and we're going to discuss this because it's worthy of being discussed. Had you all been decent human beings, this would not be a conversation. It would not. But we're here. And we don't mind walking it back. We don't mind revisiting the disappearance of Naziyah. We don't mind walking back and wondering where you all failed and where you all went wrong. There's a lot of things that has been said in 2 years. A lot of things was shown in 2 years. And there's a lot of things that this family has lied about and denied in the 2 years. Everything that we discuss in here, it ain't no accusations. It's coming from sworn testimonies. Publicly available videos. You ain't got to believe me. There are videos out there. There are videos out there. And most of the videos out there that the family is in them. So stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Because when y'all stories change, the record don't. And we are going to continue asking questions, baby. My sister Deidre said, because you're talking true facts, they can't take it. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. Sister Deidre, and that's the situation. Solacing me will not change who you people are. It won't. Because you are who you are. So, Chad, if we're ready to get into conversations about that family and the path that these poor children had to take while under the roof of that family, knowing they told lie after lie after lie. Drop some pigs in the chat, because lying pigs don't always, they don't prosper. Their lies eventually catch up with them. Those children. Charlotte's Web, my beautiful sister, thank you so very much for the Cash App, baby. Thank you. It's the lies. And where we start, and I'm going to make this very clear. Jarvis Butts is indeed a monster. He's indeed a monster. But was he wrong? Look at Cynthia Harmon found those pigs. I see you, girl. I see you, girl. Rashina, I see you, sis. Thank you all for the pigs, because that's what they are. Welcome, everyone, to the chat. Jarvis Butts is indeed a monster. Jarvis Butts deserves everything that comes his way. Let's not make no mistake in that. Let's not make no mistake in that. But how many of you believe and how many of you feel that access to those children was knowingly granted? He didn't just go in there and took possession of those children. He was given access. Jarvis Butts' criminal history was not a secret. His previous charges was not a rumor. He was a convicted pedo, fresh out of jail. They knew that. They knew that. They accepted that. But yet he was allowed into a home full of underage children. He was allowed around Naziyah from the time she was 2. Jarvis Butts is rotten for the mindset that he had. Rotten. But if we call him rotten, what does that make Shannon and Annette? Remember, Shannon allowed the access. Annette knew. Y'all remember Annette herself said Jarvis was part of the family. So she knew. So for the mad family that's sitting in my bushes, stop pretending that this was an accident. For the mad family in the bushes, stop pretending that y'all didn't know. Better yet, stop pretending nobody knew. How about that? How about that? Stop pretending nobody knew, because access was granted knowingly. Knowingly. And that's where the lies began. All of that covering up. That's where the lies began. Those children didn't stand a chance. I knew it. Y'all knew it. Now America knows it. Those children did not stand a chance. So before you get in your feelings, saying Mocha's making all of this up, no, she's not. It's on public record. It's on public record. Because if it was such a good, decent house and everything was in order, even after Naziyah's disappearance, why did the others have to be removed? If it was such a decent family and everything was so decent and in order, make me understand. Because if we fast forward, forget about everything that supposedly happened in that house. But if we fast forward just to the preliminary hearing, and suddenly stories start changing. Let's take Annette, for instance. Annette gets on that stand, and one of the first things she says was Jarvis never entered her home. So who's really lying? Especially when we've seen videos that shows us different. Same video where Annette was breaking foot, arms, legs, stepping on other people's feet, trying to get to Jarvis because he was late to the party. And what was sad in all of this, Jarvis was late to the party. And why was it that it was Naziyah that texted Jarvis to tell him the party was getting ready to take place? So you people have to stop everything you have going on. You put it out there for the world to see. And because you put it out there for the world to see, now you're in a space where you don't want the world to talk about it. I need you to make that make sense to me. It's too late to be embarrassed. It's too late to feel shame. You had all your adult life to change that. You had all your adult life to change it. Cynthia Harmon says they all knew. They just didn't give a damn. Cynthia, I believe that. I believe that. They all knew and just didn't care because they were selfish. They were selfish. You know, I understand. I understand that they were raised in chaos, dysfunction. I understand that. I understand that they went through trauma. I understand that the very cycle that Naziyah got caught up in, I understand they did too. But they normalized it. As adult, they normalized it. To them, that was acceptable. Thank you, sister. Samantha says, hurt people hurt people. Jarvis was hurt the same way, and no one protected him. I'm not sure if he was even healed from it. What he has done was and is wrong in all areas. But he's sick. Samantha, I agree. I agree. But Samantha, let me piggyback off of what you just said, baby. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, when you say hurt people, can we say the same for Annette's children? Can we say the same? Because they too lived that life. They too went through things like that. Jarvis attached to them. Demons recognize demons. He could have not been accepted in no other household that had that many children sitting around. But he knew where to go and be comfortable with it. Of course, he was a victim. Cynthia Harmon says she lied. And the truth ain't in them turtlenecks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cornell says Annette and Shannon should be in jail, getting phone books thrown at their face on a daily basis. Damn. 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 Samantha says she knew Jarvis could expose them. So they gave him just what he likes. They gave it to him on a silver platter. They gave it to him. Sassy says, Samantha, technically, everyone in that house or anyone being raised around Annette was a victim. She's the one that allowed this to trickle down. Absolutely. 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 Annette could have stopped this long time ago. But not just Annette. Sister said, well, we go talk about these sick and twisted individuals. Not only Annette, right? But even the sisters and the cousins and the nieces, right? Because they all grew up in that twisted, trauma-filled environment. Annette could have stopped the cycle. There's no way, being a grown woman and away from Annette, not living in Annette's home, that these people could have not stopped that cycle. If you knew what you were raised in, you knew what you were brought up around, why keep entertaining that? Why keep going back to that if you were so uncomfortable in that environment? So what you say out of your mouth and what your actions were, the math ain't mathing. The fast talk some people to sound convincing and to sound genuine and to sound like you're so into it. But no, no, no. Y'all been manipulators all your lives. You know the right verbiage to use to manipulate, because that's all y'all have ever done. But not here. It don't work here. Leisure Lady says, why was Naziyah peeking from those stairs? Seems like the fake evangelist would have missed her. Absolutely. Absolutely. And she was peeking from the stairs. So why wasn't she invited to the party? Make it make sense. But they want to come after us. That child was singled out of damn near everything that family done. We're not making this up. Pictures tells a story. Videos tells a story. And they're all out there for the world to see. And we have a right to talk about it. I saw a picture on one of Shannon's Facebook page. Shannon had taken her children, looked like at the Y or wherever she had taken them. Children had gotten in the pool. All Shannon little ducks had on swimming trunks and bathing suits. Naziyah couldn't have been no more than 6, maybe 7, if that old. She looked like an orphan. Hair undone. She had a little pair of shorts and a t-shirt. And she looked it so uncomfortable. But yet that family claimed to care. That family claimed to care. That child has been neglected all of her life. All of her life. Tony said that house is hell on earth. Naziyah saved those other children from Shannon and her mama. And they need to throw the book at them for lying while under oath. They endangered all those little girls. Absolutely, Tony. Absolutely. The fact that they lied. The fact that they lied, and then they sit here and they want us to be quiet because they put their lies out there. No, we're not going to do this. Don't get mad at Mocha because Mocha's speaking your truth. Y'all all knew. Y'all all knew. Big Mama said they should not want their kids to repeat the cycle. They should have broken it. Absolutely. And I don't know what was so hard about that. I don't know. I don't know. Cornell says they all knew. Cornell said they all knew. He named y'all, all of y'all. We ain't left none out. But then when I called them out, Cornell, Mocha was a troublemaker. Mocha was a liar. Mocha make up things. Mocha says things that, no, Mocha's only saying what she see. Y'all should have asked somebody about me before y'all started playing with me. I will never say something that don't hold weight. Everything that I say here, say it because I saw it. I say it because I heard it. And there's no way I could see something or hear something if y'all didn't put it out there. It came from y'all. And that family has no shame. None. And that's disheartening. Carly Henry says Jarvis should have gone and got him some help long time ago. I agree. I agree, but where was he going to go? When he don't know, no direction, Jarvis was on the streets at a young age. Getting help wasn't a priority. Jarvis was introduced to fast life, being a criminal. Once Jarvis got a taste of, getting a little kitty cat, Jarvis didn't care what age he started taking it. Tony says, but I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't teach those boys how to work on cars. Tony, that's not hard. Those boys were not Jarvis Butt's concern. He didn't want to be around those boys. Now, why would he? Why would he? When he sit up there and now he got Shannon and Annette giving him free range. He could run the whole house. In that house, he was the daddy. He was the boyfriend. He was the uncle. He was everything in that house. My sister Rock said they all knew. Is there a family religion? They don't see shit wrong with it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where we are right now. They don't see nothing wrong with it. Again, like I said, they normalize this behavior. It's everybody's fault but theirs. Everybody's fault but theirs. And that's a shame. Charlotte's Web said, I'm so over this family, Lord knows. I'm so over them. They're absolutely despicable. And it's the nicest thing that I could say in the chat to keep it clean. I'm over these people, Charlotte's Web. You ain't by yourself. So many people are over these people. But in their mind, they're absolutely right. In their mind, Charlotte's Web, they have done nothing wrong. In their mind, everybody's wrong but them. They got a story to tell. And everybody else is wrong for speaking on it. No, we ain't wrong. Y'all are wrong for allowing it to go on this long. It's y'all fault. And when will y'all accept the fact that it's on y'all? It ain't on the public. We can't blame Detroit for what happened to Naziyah. We cannot blame Detroit for what happened in that house. No, it ain't Detroit. It's y'all. That's it. And that's all. It's y'all. Carla Henry said there's no excuse for what Jarvis done. He knew right from wrong. Absolutely, Carla Henry. I do not dismiss what he's done. I don't. Because I'm with you on that one. Jarvis Butts knew right from wrong. He knew. He definitely knew. Sassy says, Annette and those Mucinex twins, they knew how he was. The others knew that Annette was a monster and not an auntie, a grandmother, or real anything but a devil. Yes, Lord, they knew. I don't give a shit what they say. Sassy, I don't care how they come out here and try to defend that. They knew. At the end of the day, it all boils down to it being nastiness. And they were comfortable with it. And they kept going back for more. It's a shame. Sassy says, again, I'm not team anyone, but those children are the ones who suffered. And then there are people who are adults now that also suffered being around Annette because she never got help for herself. But Sassy, you would think, right? Let's go there. We're going to walk through all of this. You would think, even those that was around Annette, grew up around Annette, right? Even though they suffered, even though they went through hell and back in that house with Annette. Let's talk about it. Don't you think there could have been a time in their life where they could have fixed that? They really could have. Because we don't make excuses for people that don't want to fix their own shit. You know, my thing is this, and I just have to be brutally honest because that's who I am. When you grow up in an abusive home, things ain't right. You know it ain't right. You grow up, you end up with a husband, you end up with children, You want better for you. You want better for your marriage. You want better for your children. So let's talk about how, you just said they were abused and they suffered, but they were smart enough to know, I know what goes on there. I know what takes place over there. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to allow my children to be a part of that. So it's not making sense to me. Of course they suffered. Of course they went through it too. But they protected theirs. And they left the little Naziyahs of the world and the other little girls to suffer in silence while they watched behind the scenes. They knew. They knew. Hip hop says, oh shit. Hip hop ain't shit again. Hip hop says, send Annette and Shannon to guard the U.S. Embassy in Venezuela with, no, you didn't. No, you didn't say with no weapons. Damn. 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 With no weapons. Ooh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. That sounds about right, though. But we're going to talk about it. Because this is insane to me. Absolutely, Carla Henry. Absolutely. Carla Henry said just sad how they treated her. Rock says because the only men she could get clearly not only her, Rock, but it seems like those were the only men that Annette could get to. Birds of a feather. But these people want us to accept what they've come out here and put on social media, and not just on social media, Lord, but public records, court documents. But we are wrong. No, you ain't gonna make me believe I'm wrong for saying what I say. Levesque says, you can't make this shit up. And you can't. Levesque says, man, you cannot make this shit up. What happened in that household? Mocha, knowing what we know now, go back and look at the actress. Annette put on Naziyah missing interview that they had to make her do lies. Absolutely, Levesque. And they made her do the interview. So if you really loved your granddaughter, if you really was that loving grandmother that you want the world to believe that you were with that forced interview, you went through all that trouble adopting her because it wasn't easy. It was a struggle. Ladies, stop it. Just stop it. Maudie says the only things Naziyah was embodied to was making money for Annette. And that's sad. And, they want to blame us. Don't blame us. Please don't do that. Don't blame us because we're only seeing what you all put out there. Samantha said it's crazy and sad how they can eat what they want, turn their lights off when they want, but a child is missing and they're carrying on with their lives like nothing has happened. All of them. All of them. You know, I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care if they didn't live in Annette's household, but to come out here in this world and want to fight everybody claiming how much you love your little cousin. You should be walking the streets of Detroit with no shoes on, getting the answers that you deserve instead of swinging on social media. Absolutely, Cornell. It was the pads for me. That was the most embarrassing things that I've ever heard. Cornell, we all ask that same question. Why are they not being charged with perjury? That's a question in itself. Carla Henry said that family should still be looking for Naziyah. I wouldn't have given up unless they know what happened to her. See, Carla Henry, that says a lot. Unless they know. Unless they know what happened to her. Carla Henry, I'm with you. Because can't nobody ever tell me to stop looking for mine. You would have to show me something. Sassy says Annette and those Mucinex twins, they didn't look at Naziyah as a child. She was their meal ticket. Any child was, as long as they got paid or late, and that's the truth. And that's a damn shame. They allowed that baby to be groomed. They allowed that baby to be groomed. And groomed at such a young age. I believe what I believe. My thoughts are what they are. Jarvis moved in a Clinton township with Shannon. Naziyah was only 2. Jarvis had just gotten out of jail for molesting a 4-year-old. And they found nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So who's really sick? We could call him sick all we want. He ain't the only sick one, guys. He ain't the only sick one. Cornell said, come on now. Everyone knew they had Jarvis at Disney World and everything. So y'all put 2 and 2 together. Cornell, that's the reason why they want Mocha to shut up. Sheena says, see, when you're a pedo, you're not allowed around any children. That's a law for sure. Absolutely. Thank you, Rock. Rock said the Mad family knew. Big Mama said that wasn't what Jarvis wanted. Jarvis wanted to be laid up. But the sad part about that, Big Mama, unfortunately, Shannon couldn't give him what he wanted. And he resorted to children. That's sad. That is sad. Let's talk about some things. I'm going to catch up with the comments. And then we go. Let's talk about some things. Let's see. Leisure Lady said, my son bought fries here. He know I can't resist him. He makes me sick. He make me fall off the wagon. Oh, Lord. Oh, girl, guilty pleasures. Cornell said that family needs some intensive therapy and psych meds. Cornell, all of them. All of them. All of them. Cornell says, if y'all watch the school routine video, that granny monster referred to her sweet old grandchildren as stupid kids. Cornell, not only in that video. Now, this was referenced in a video. Not only did she call them stupid. Did you see the condition of that house? Two short coats and mismatched socks and high water pants. So who was really benefiting? Why were those children even in their care, any of them for that matter? Hey, Henry Boone, how are you, my love? For that matter, how were those children even in their care? Sassy said, that's a fact, Mocha. But not everyone was essayed under Annette's watch. She's just evil and made sure the ones who were a threat were pushed out of the children's life. And even if they weren't, they may have not been essayed, but they were around knowing what happened to others. They were around. Hey, niece Tarsha, they were around. Absolutely, Marty. Let's talk about that. Marty says Shannon's daughter told her what happened. And she called her a liar. Marty. They knew. They knew, Marty. They knew. I'm going to tell you why I say they knew. In the preliminary, when they were reading those text messages between supposedly Naziyah and Jarvis, a lot was exposed. A lot was said, right? As they were reading those text messages on September 27th, Jarvis and Naziyah texting back and forth at a time where Naziyah should have been in the bed getting ready for school. She and Jarvis is sharing text messages back and forth. Naziyah told Jarvis in that message, pull your car down the street. I'll be waiting on you. Jarvis responds to Naziyah. Jarvis responds to Naziyah. come ride with me and my daughter. Naziyah asks, did they say I could come? So now, Marty, you saying Shannon, daughter, told her what happened? I want to understand, how can Annette and Shannon sit their ass there and say they didn't know? How could they say they did not know, Lord? Especially when, because my question is, where was Shannon and where was Annette when Janiyah was out in the streets with Jarvis? So there's no such thing as Annette and Shannon didn't know what was going on, because it appeared like Jarvis was taking his turns rotating these girls. I don't give a damn what they say. They knew. Cynthia Harmon, that told the whole story when she didn't shed a tear. That told the entire story. This is sad. Look at my girl, Leisure Lady. Thank you for the super sticker, boo. Sister Sheena said, oh, they will. After they get their dumb asses, they get on the stand again, they will be locked up for perjury. I pray to God so. They need to be held accountable. Henry Boone says, Mocha, it was a lot of buffoonery going on in that house, and lots of it. Lots of it. Hip hop crazy. Annette and her bulletproof, damn. Hip hop, you going to time out. You hip hop. Hip hop says Annette got a bulletproof wig. Bulletproof wig. Damn. And it needs to be investigated. But hip hop, I'm with you when you're right. Hey, Natasha. Natasha says they got all the answers because they know what happened. And they were all involved. They mad because we peep game. Bunch of nasty motherfuckers. Natasha, baby. That's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. They mad at the world. They mad at the world. And they knew. They knew. And I'm like, no. Y'all got misplaced anger. Misplaced anger. You know, where was this energy and where was this anger for Jarvis Butts? Where was this misplaced anger for Annette? Where was this misplaced anger, Lord? Just stop it, people. Just, I'm with you, Leisure Lady. Just pitiful. Get my girl Nye. Hey, Nye. But it's a, how do you make right out of this? This is insane. How do you make right? Look, my girl, Miss Detroit. Hey, boo. How do you make right out of nine crazy? Now I said, now, Mocha, why would you use that picture? Why would you use the picture, Mocha, knowing I always say something about that dress, girl? I didn't know. I must have felt you was coming today, sus. Miss Antoinette said them alphabet people ain't shit. Hey, I said it. I said it, said this story did something to me forever. I said it. Baby. Baby. This story done bothered a lot of people. And just knowing that this family don't care and showing the public that they don't care. But because they're showing the public that they don't care, they want us to shut up. Who does that? Guys, make sure you're hitting the like button for your girl. Not only hitting the like button, but double tap those emojis to the right. Marty says they had that lock on the industrial freezer. Sakina, I see you, boo. Marty, that lock on that freezer told several stories. And Marty, no matter how many stories they told about that freezer and that lock, Marty, it don't make sense. Because how are you in a house with a bunch of underage children and you're hiding and locking up food and making an excuse for it? How many of you all, because y'all been following this story like me, how many of you all really believe it was food in that freezer? I'll wait. I will definitely wait. Because I want to know if you all really felt it was food in that freezer. Rock said, nope. No food. No food. Hey, Tanya laughing at the freezer. No food. Look at Carla Henry. No food. Chandra want to know what was in it. Me too, Chandra. I want to know what was in it. Everybody said there was no food. They lied about everything else. Everything around that household has been suspect. So why do we think they wouldn't lie about that? Leisure lady said it said Naziyah was hungry. Ooh, child. The padlock said it all, and that was a bio freezer. You can't just go in a department store and buy those type. Hip hop says for some reason, I imagine the next minivan smelling like cold hip hop. God damn it, hip hop. I highlighted that shit because that was your name. But if I'd have saw that cold bacon grease, I'd have kept going. Cold bacon grease hip hop. Leisure lady said that's why Shannon confided in her cousin as to what to do. And that's what made the world know exactly what was going on, Leisure lady. Shannon didn't want to confide in Annette because they all was in it together. She didn't want Annette to know that it was bothering her conscience. So what she does instead, she confides in her cousin. And when she confided in her cousin, it became a story for the world. It became a story for the world. Huh. Welcome everyone that just entered the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. These people are sick. Cynthia Harmon says Naziyah just wanted to be loved, but she got love from the wrong person. Let's talk about it, Cynthia. Naziyah didn't have a mother, not one that really cared and loved her. Naziyah didn't have a father, not one that loved her and cared for her. Naziyah had a grandmother that only accepted Naziyah for a check. Because why would it be that she takes her own granddaughter down to the courts to get her on paper legally and then demand child support from the daughter and the man? So we knew it was all about money. We knew that. Poor Naziyah was in survival mode all her life. All her life. That child grew up moving according to what she was taught. Naziyah had a grandmother that didn't give a damn. Because if she did give a damn, you're my granddaughter, I would have not called you gorgeous. You're my granddaughter, I would have not dressed you up in grown people clothes at the age of 8. You're my granddaughter. There is no way I would accept light bill money, water bill money, fix my raggedy van money, and allow my granddaughter to go into a motel with my brother. Naziyah had nobody. Then she had an aunt that didn't give a damn about her. Because if Shannon cared about Naziyah just a little bit, if she cared about Naziyah just a little bit, when she chose to take the man that society gave a chance, when she chose to move him in her house, she should have gave Naziyah back. She should have brought Naziyah back to that so-say loving grandmother. That's what she should have done. And we wouldn't be here today. And we wouldn't be here today. Their stories have too many holes in it. And if we want to be politically correct, they tried to make us believe that Jarvis had been having interactions with Naziyah only a year prior to her disappearance. But if you listen to the text messages that was read at the preliminary hearing, it appeared that Naziyah was having interactions because the very first text message that came out between them, at least the ones that they discovered, it was in 2022. That was 2 years before her disappearance. So what? Naziyah was 10 at the time. But she was 10? So make it make sense. So if she's that comfortable having these types of conversation with Jarvis Butts at the age of 10. That baby had been groomed long before that. Look at my beautiful sister D. Hey, my love, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, boo, I'm praying for you. I'm going to hit you up on the back end, D. Cornell said that auto shop wasn't a shop. It was a trafficking ring. Cornell, let's talk about the auto shop. Frank name kept coming up in all of this. Slow Jarvis, he was a runner for Frank. Slow Jarvis, he was on Frank's payroll. And when I said here once before, said it was some really big people involved in this, you better believe it is. You better believe it is. I'm going to stick to what I believe. We may not hear of it today, tomorrow, a couple of years down the road. Y'all will come back and say, Mocha told us that. Y'all gonna say, Mocha told us that. Sheena said, listen, you know as a mother, if something is wrong with your children without them telling you, mother instincts absolutely says they knew. They knew. Because look at when Naziyah went to the hospital. Look at when Naziyah went to the hospital. Who took her there? So whoever took Naziyah to the hospital, y'all, they knew the situation. They knew. They knew. Tony says, Shannon and Annette, come out. Better playing with the phones and tablets than playing with the world, because they go fuck around and find out how much we really care about Naziyah. That part, Tony. That's why they're missing. That's why nobody sees them. It's a shame that a baby had to go through that. And I'm like Miss Antoinette, where is Naziyah? Where is she? How do y'all sleep at night? How do y'all go through your day-to-day lives? Huh. You people are sick. You people are sick. Cornell said the food stamps that Annette and the Big Back twins is getting is for those babies after all. Well, it was. Sister said she might be the missing faucet children in that freezer. Ooh, allegedly. Allegedly. Oh, y'all thinking like me with that damn freezer. Tony said only a fool would believe that was for being stored. Only a fool would believe that freezer. Hold up, Tony. Tony, I believe you messed that up. Only a fool would believe that was for being stored in the laboratory. I ain't no fool was in that laboratory freezer at all, at all. Cornell said they should charge him with food stamp fraud since the kids didn't have access to it. Cornell, a plethora of charges, a plethora. Marty says, didn't some other children on Annette's watch disappear allegedly? Yes, ma'am, allegedly, and was reported as runaways. Yeah. Miss Detroit said he saw Shannon at the store. You mean to tell me Shannon's still moving around, Miss Detroit? Miss Detroit said we saw Shannon at the store looking hit up. Wow. 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 Hey, now, Keisha, welcome, boo. Beautiful soul. I see you, mama. Cynthia Harmon said this shit is sad and it's working on her nerves. Rock said a nerve of Shannon to be in that purple dress weighing 689 pounds and starving Naziyah. Marty says everybody in that family wanted Naziyah welfare check. That's why Marty, we thinking absolutely alike. We're thinking alike, Marty. Marty says everyone in that family wanted Naziyah's welfare check. They didn't want Naziyah. That's why they left her to suffer with Annette and Shannon, hitched dry ass hobos. Damn, Marty. Damn, Marty. Damn, Marty. Cynthia Harmon says Timu Wig used Naziyah for her bills and shit. Oh, Lord. Hey, Tomanisha, welcome to the chat, my love. Tomanisha said, in this order, Annette tell them what to do with her, after killing her and using her. Shannon played the dumb card. Marquita see and know all, but ain't said shit. The cop brothers used as a cover-up to make it look nice. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Well. Honey child. And I could almost agree with you. I could almost agree with you. Absolutely, Rock. Naziyah and Jarvis was in a long-term relationship, longer than they want to admit. My girl says, look at here. There are multiple traffic rings where the same people be. Pay attention. And don't think I haven't been. And you know, Tomanisha, thank you for saying that, my love. That's their reason for wanting Mocha to shut up. I've been saying this from day one. And here you come in here tonight with the confirmation. Shell, baby, thank you so very much, baby, for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. Tanya said there are a lot of heavy hitters at the top. Absolutely. Absolutely. And ain't nobody's crazy. Chandra said they better bring that freeze out in court. Chandra, the investigation was raggedy. So I don't believe no freeze is going to hit the surface. I don't think it will. I don't even believe they did a thorough search on that house. That's just my take on that. Tony says, Mocha, who was that standing there at that birthday party with the hoodie on when Annette went flying across the room to get Jarvis without her glasses? Standing where? Standing where? Because I saw Shannon, I saw Marquita. Hey, Linda. Absolutely. The brother is actually, yep, he's a CO. Levesque said, and what pissed me off is when they had different people of the family are connected, playing our faces after we are heartfelt and connected, continually acting, coming to us with that bullshit. Levesque. Thank you, Linda, for supporting the channel, my love. Levesque, that part. But Levesque, they did that to feed us that bullshit. So we don't see what we were supposed to see. And now that we see what we, as time went on, we started seeing what was the real. So now they swing. Now they swing, Levesque. Sassy said, let's not forget. The police weren't on this for 30 days because she was reported as a runaway, not missing. So I doubt the freezer or anything else was the same. And who knows if the 9th is the real date. Boom. That's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. It was a tactic to report her as a runaway. It was a planned tactic. Because they knew reporting her as a runaway, there was no urgency. And it was, yes, that's right. It was way over 30 days. Absolutely, Ms. Detroit. No freezers mentioned. Henry Boone said, Mocha, that's weird. That family was so down and dirty, hungry for money. It wasn't no millions involved. Just government checks and welfare SNAP benefits. Henry Boone. That showed you just what type of people we're dealing with. That shows you just what kind of people we're dealing with. Carla Henry said they're not taking this case seriously enough for me. Carla Henry, you're absolutely right. Tony said, on the wall behind the children, you can go back and look closely at the birthday party. Tony, I saw that was Naziyah on the stairs, if that's what you're talking about. But I'll go back and look. Hey, Virgo. I'm going to go back and look. Tamanisha said Jarvis got a plea deal for the homicide of Naziyah. And his daughter's case is life in prison with parole to wear a lifetime monitor. I think that's how I explained it the other day. Because I want to know, how do you throw off? How do you take first-degree murder off the table? How do you take that off the table? For such a serious crime as this that y'all called it. And then it comes second degree. And then for the SA charges, he's facing 15 to 20. To come out to be on an anchor monitor and to pay a restitution. Something is wrong with this picture. Something is wrong. Something is absolutely wrong. And Jarvis is willing. See, and that's the funny thing. The plea deal was because they didn't want to go to trial, Chandra. So why is it that they don't want to go to trial? Jarvis says, "Nuck if you buck. You ain't giving me no plea deal. I'm going to take my chances and go to trial." So, in my mind, if they really had what they tried to convince us that they had, why would they offer him a plea deal not to go to trial? Why would they reduce his charges from first degree to second degree? It makes you think, don't it? Don't it make you think? If you all are seeing this the way that I'm seeing this, and if I'm wrong, I need somebody in the chat to stop me. Somebody correct me. Somebody say, "Mocha, stop where you at. Stop in your tracks, Mocha. You are dead wrong." But that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Miss O says she only communicated with the school, and the school reported her missing. A month later, when the school reported, absolutely. Rock said, "Mad Dog family, y'all go read with y'all." So absolutely. Hey, Kitty, welcome, boo. Miss Detroit said, "Shit. In Detroit, baby, food stamps and checks means a lot to people. And they are just that, system scammers." Look at Simone. Hey, girl. Tony said, "Mocha, did y'all see those little portions of food Annette be feeding those children? Annette is going to hell." Miss Detroit said they're willing to take stuff to try to get him to plea. He refused it, and he did. And he did. Tamanisha said Jarvis better sing like his life depended on it, and he should. Miss Detroit, all in my ears. Miss Detroit says, "Man, Detroit must not got it like that. Like they portraying to have it. They feel nobody, no case." Ain't that something, girl? Ain't that something, Miss Detroit? Why the sudden shift? Hey, Miss Gemini. Miss Gemini said, "Mocha, do you think Jarvis is holding a card where he's going to tell on all the bigger players involved in the SA ring and on Shannon and Annette?" Miss Gemini. Miss Gemini, in Mocha's opinion, I don't believe that he's only holding out to implicate Shannon and Annette. Miss Gemini, I believe he's holding out to give them what they want. And he gotta give them something substantial, something worth their trouble in order to plead. And I believe that's the card he's holding. Because like I've always said, Miss Gemini, like I've always said, and I could be wrong once again, this trial is going to take place Well, the way shit going right now, there may be no trial. Let's just say that. There may be no trial. They offering pleas and shit. There may be no trial. And by them offering pleas, that's an easy way. That's an easy way for Jarvis to once again slip through the cracks. Jarvis is going to give them what they want. Jarvis is going to be someplace else being Jarvis. They're going to let him out for time served. And he's going to be up out of there. And that's just my opinion. Detroit been playing, the system has been playing in the people's face for too long with this case. And that's why I figured that I doubt it seriously if there's a trial. This ain't no celebrity trial. Everyday people. And you sitting up there with damn near 90 witnesses? Who got time for that? Who got time for that? So I don't believe it's going to be a trial. I don't believe. I don't believe. Marty says, Butts need to grow some nuts. Stand up and tell all he knows so Naziyah get a justice, because he not walking the streets free. Child. Hey, Island girl, I didn't see you in here, girl. Good night, baby. Henry Boone says, Mocha, you know I've been hit that like button, and I know you have, Henry Boone. The Beck said, yeah. They know he didn't unalive Naziyah. He committed that say with her and others. But there was persons or people that actually unalived Naziyah, not Jarvis. It's crazy and so sad. I love the fact that in here we can all be opinionated. I love that for us. And they can't stand that for us. As sad as it sounds, it's true though, y'all. Chandra said, I wish I could hear those jail calls, conversations that Jarvis made. Absolutely, Chandra. Look at my sister. Thank you, boo. TB says, is it possible that he took her back home? I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave that right there because that's a good question. And that question you ask plays around what I believe from the very beginning. Question is it possible that he took her back home and it went down in the house, hence the reason grandma waited till the next day to report it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Tony says now that he turned down the plea, his sister might as well come on with the truth because he knows he done with the touching of those little girls. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Thomasina says, why is there nothing connecting with the confession tape? Pay attention, child. Pay attention. See, See, that's the thing. We got to pay attention. Thank you, Linda. Tanya said it's so jacked up. From the beginning, it was just too many holes in this case. They didn't want us. They didn't want us to find out the truth. They didn't want us to see who they were as people. Thomasina said, where's latest testimony? That's the testimony we never heard of, Thomasina. Was she ever questioned? They probably ain't use her. Who knows? I don't know. Ms. Detroit said, I don't care what I do or where I be. This is my home base and my sister's channel. Love all you bells, and we love you too, girl. Hey, I said it. Carla Henry says, Jarvis needs to get life. Annette need to go. Shannon need to go. They all need to go. Marty. And that's why they don't like us, you see? Because over here we say it. And that's why they don't like this channel. Marty says. That's why they keep putting money on his books. To try to keep him quiet. Oh, Jesus. Linda, girl, you know we appreciate you over here. Sassy says, I could believe that he did it. If he was sick enough to touch a baby, and then more children, he's capable of anything to me. But God will let the truth be known. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ms. Detroit said it better make him take the plea and tell where she's at. But he's seeming too headstrong. He go beat it. It's something he knows, Ms. Detroit. Something that he knows, and he's playing chess with them. Rock said, I wonder if he was offered the plea in exchange for the location of the body. That's a good question. I wonder, because we don't know what he was offered. Levesque said, Mocha, the plea of the state chooses and Jarvis accepts will have him serving a long time in prison. He will not walk the streets for a very long time. Too many charges. I could believe that, Levesque. But Levesque, this is, let me tell you how I look at that. See, we've been looking at this from a legal standpoint, which is great. Which is great. We're looking at it from a justice standpoint, which is even greater. Look at who we dealing with, y'all. Look at what we dealing with. This shit has been corrupt from the very beginning. So how do you not brace yourself for a corrupt ending? That's all I'm saying. See, I look at it from all angles. I really do. But they all need a niche. Welcome, boo. Vanessa says no. How can we say baby girl was pregnant by Jarvis when they had baby girl sleeping with all these other men? Hello? Hello? See, and that's the truth, Vanessa, that they don't want spoken. That's the truth they don't want spoken. And that's why, Vanessa, I said in the very beginning, Jarvis was a fall guy. Definitely a fall guy. We have to call a thing a thing. And it's sad. It's sad that these grown women put this baby in a situation like this. Naziyah didn't know no better. She did not. That baby was a product of her environment. Do as I say. And in their case, do as I do too. Annette and Shannon is going to rot. They're going to rot. Marty said his trial is going to go on longer than expected. Buck's got big fat cats named there, Marty. Miss Detroit said, well, the other one is a whole kid. Jarvis is the monster of all monsters. And they let him do whatever he done. Absolutely. Oh, yes, Carla Henry. Isn't that embarrassing? Isn't that well, Carla Henry? It's the sickness of some people in the world. Women know that Jarvis has the reputation that he does. So what makes them gravitate towards him? And he has a fan club. It's just like when they unalive, this man, the insurance man, and his accused killer has a fan club. Something is wrong with these young women in the world today. Linda says, for real, and Annette brother should be under the jail as well. Absolutely, Linda. Linda, they need to get a wagon and pack them all up. Linda put them on an island by themselves. Look at my brother Abs. Hey, baby, welcome. Tom Anisha. Oh, no, Tom Anisha. Tom Anisha. Look, I was with you when I thought you was right. But that one right there, child, I ain't even trying to buy that one. Whoo, child. I don't believe that body is dismantled like that. Tom Anisha. I don't believe that body is dismantled like that. Tony says when Jarvis tells on the higher-ups, they better have the National Guard watching his ass. We haven't heard anything from Kim Worthley's ass, and she's been quiet. She's been quiet. And Ms. Detroit, she's quiet because why? Why is she so quiet? Because I got my man. We got, you got him, all right? So now you were so headstrong. You got your man. And now you're lessening the charges. Who does that? Make it make sense. Lady D said Jarvis said himself that he took her home. Absolutely. And that's what people don't want to accept. He said he took her home. So what makes the world think that he's lying by saying that? And Annette and Shannon is telling the truth. Annette and Shannon is lying. They're lying. I believe him when he said he took her home. Absolutely, says that case is falling apart. But my thing is, if Jarvis has this big fan club, right, with all these grown women, where was these grown women when he had all these urges? Why couldn't he go play with them grown women? Shit. Sassy said, let's just pray that it's quiet because they don't want it messier than what it has become. They can't afford to drop the ball for the third, fourth, and fifth time. Naziyah has already been failed enough. Absolutely, abs. Abs, they don't like this channel. They don't like this channel because they don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be exposed. But they should have never bought it to social media. You know, and what's really sad is, the more I think about it, this child had no mother. This child had no father. And all she had to rely on was a no good ass grandmother and a pissy ass aunt. That's what she had. And relatives that try to make the universe think they cared. But everybody failed her. Everybody failed her. Hey, Chanel, welcome, boo. Everybody failed that baby. Tony said, Mocha, they have so many of 2026, and Kim Worthless is quiet as a mouse. Her and her team, they need to come on with the facts of this case. We're listening too closely. It's a lot. Hey, Tammy, welcome, my love. But you know, as I stated, this child had no mother. She had no father. A grandmother should have been a safety net. Grandmother should have been a safe haven. A grandmother should have been a place where this child could have gone. This child should have been able to be there and just felt safe from everything that life threw her way. But instead, that grandmother's house was the dungeon. It was a place that failed her worse than anything. But they want us to accept that as normal. And Iran here talking about Annette ran a tight ship. What kind of ship she ran? That ship couldn't have been that damn tight. Because if your ship was that tight, Annette, I need you to tell the world, why is it that these little girls, not only Naziyah, but those other girls in that house, if your ship was that tight, why were these girls able to go and come any time of the night when they should have been sleeping, getting schoolwork? They should have been doing things that little children should be doing. But instead, they were doing late night creeps with Jarvis. You knew it. Shannon knew it. Y'all allowed it. Y'all should have knew it was something going on then. Y'all allowed this behavior. let you tell it. You run a tight ship, ma'am. You run a tight ship. But yet, you got Jarvis sending text messages to Naziyah. And Shannon, you sad. You pitiful. Because just like you saw the text messages between Jarvis and Naziyah, you also saw the text messages between Jarvis and your daughter. Marquita, you ain't no better because you saw text messages as well. Y'all want the world to feel sorry for y'all. When y'all still at y'all great big ages, y'all still ain't feeling sorry for these children. It took these children to be removed out of that home for the truth to come out. Had these children not been removed from that home, the story would have stayed right where we started on Naziyah being missing. I'm thankful for Roxy. I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell y'all why. Took me a while to understand, took me a while to realize, and it took me a while to accept how grateful I am for Roxy. Had Roxy, good night, Miss Antoinette. Had Roxy not brought it to social media about Naziyah, the world would have never known. Naziyah would have just been listed with those other runaways. Y'all heard what I said. 3 runaways, same city, same runaway story attached to their name. And unfortunately, they all have the same last name. The only difference is it happened years apart. That tells a story. And Mark D came out here. And when Mark D brought it to the table, 40 years of CPS, nobody understood. I understand. I understand. CPS needs to come out here and tell the story. CPS needs to tell the story. I don't believe in coincidences. 3 runaways, 3 stories designed the same. The stories are on these 3 runaways. They all went to school and they never returned. That's the story. They are all from Detroit. They all have the same last name, Harris. And they all were reported as runaways. The only difference is years apart. Something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong. Marty says, I thought everyone entitled to their views and opinion, but it seems two in this chat don't think so. So I say good night. Oh, Marty girl, it's good, it's good. Don't take that to heart. We all here have opinions, baby. Everybody here has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. We agree to disagree in here. Don't take that to heart. Ms. Detroit said, that eats me, Mocha. These, they put out, when we cover it, they come for us, figuring it out. And don't forget, he had a whole damn near month to get rid of her. Absolutely. Not him. That family. That family. It's the family. Absolutely, sis. She ran that ship right into the ground. TB says she a madam like Teresa. Levesque said, Mocha, I was looking up legally in my following of this case how the prosecutor can indict others. It's called superseding indictment. That will convict Shannon and Annette. Let's pray it. Let's pray it does. Simone said it's sinking like the Titanic, slowly but surely. Ms. Detroit said, I'm telling y'all, they not go charge them. And he's not go tell. He go take it, rather it be judge or jury. And that's what I think go happen, y'all. Again, I love the fact that we all can voice our opinion. Sassy said, I wouldn't spit on those three if they were on fire. I can't stand them, and it's disgusting to think about what Naziyah went through from the age of 2. But look, Sassy, not only Naziyah, look at what came out in court about the other children. Look at what came out in court about the other children. So it's not just Naziyah. But they want us to shut up. Tammy says, Mocha, they didn't expect that part to happen either. The removal of the children. That's it. Absolutely, Tammy. And Miss T Love. Miss T Love said, a good friend of mine. Daughter has been missing for a month now. No media, what? No internet coverage, no nothing. Her baby's just gone and so many more. Oh my God, Miss T Love. Jesus. No kind of coverage. Miss Detroit, I read about that underground trafficking. East Side, hey, boo. There's so many. Even Zion. I pray that 26 bring revelation. Absolutely, East Side. Absolutely. Lebec said, I will give Roxy that, but Mocha, she's still some. Oh, of course, Lebec. Oh, that's the only prop she getting, Lebec, that she bought it to the net. That's all. Brother Abs, it's a sad situation. Sad, sad situation. And you know, it's not just that child. Brother, she's the one that's no longer here to tell her story. But it was several other children in that house that was abused as well. We love you more, Lavette. Oh, child. Marty, you're honorary here. We love you, Marty. Everybody, I always say, everybody here has an opinion. But y'all know we cover stuff here. We cover things here. And we walk through it slowly because everybody gets a chance to voice their opinion over here. We walk through it and we give everybody a chance. Everybody a chance to walk through it. You know? And this has been a lot. And I know this touching here is emotional for everybody. Everybody. We may not all agree. We may not all agree. And that's the beauty of this chat because we're different. It allows each and every one of us to voice our opinion, you know, to have a difference of opinion. And it's just like the color of the rainbow. I don't like all the colors in the pack of Skittles. But will I throw them away? Because it's a Skittle. But this chat is unique. This chat is unique because each and every one of you gets the opportunity to come here and voice your opinion because there's never a wrong in the chat. There's never a wrong. And y'all know I've always stood on what I stood on from day one. There are no little I's and no big U's over here, not even when it comes to me. Your opinion matters. Just like my opinion matters. And nobody would ever be, Look at my brother. My brother said, this is a grown people place. Marty, you could voice your opinion here, and that's a fact. We love Marty. And I don't want nobody to feel no type of way. Bullying happens. We don't bully over here. And we don't make one another uncomfortable over here. But nonetheless, guys, we done came out here. We done did what we had to do. We done said what we had to say. And we left out here tonight knowing that this family is still responsible for everything that happened in that household. And y'all know, all we want to know is where's Naziyah. That's it and that's all. And for everything that we've covered tonight, if you all believe that these pigs are still alive, Shannon and Annette, we're going to leave out of here dropping some pigs in this damn chat. And your girl is going to be back. Oh, Lord, Tony said, I don't want no Skittles. I want peanut M&Ms. Well, just damn, oh, they got colors. Lots of colors. Lots of colors. But we're going to get out of here. I want to thank you all for tuning into the live, for being very active in here tonight. And guys, I want y'all to, double tap the screen for your girl. Double tap the screen for your girl. Engage with those emojis. Let YouTube know your girl is here. Shout out to my replay gang. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Oh, look at the pigs. Look at the pigs. Lord, look at the pigs up in here. We're family, guys. And nobody can change that. And we're going to keep it funky. We're going to keep it respectful. I love you all. I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, whether it's Cash App, Super Chats, or Super Stickers. I love you all. And we're going to be back here doing what we do because this is who we are. We're family over here. And nobody could ever change that. Love on yours. Love on yours.
We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No. Motivated from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. Tapping if you real, we don't fake nothing here. Got a team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. Moki in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. Know the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the check gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Won't you lead 'em from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. Down in the NOLA where the soul don't break. Mocha built the lane where the real ones stay. Ain't no faking the funk, ain't no playing for clout. You bring that mess, we gon' sort that out. But this ain't about drama, it's about love. It's about healing, it's about trust. Every child, every voice, every name in the breeze. We gon' stand for the ones no one else gon' see. So we rise tall, we rise as one. Oh, no, no bellows, the work ain't done. Won't you lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. One mic, one tribe, one mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide. Where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Won't you lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you. We stand with the truth. This is the NOLA Bells. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Stand tall and join the family.
Good night, everyone. God bless. And I will see you all next time.